Hey guys, I'm Wingcap and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy. Let's start on the LDC. Sailing, sailing over the LDC. Something, something, something fishy. I don't know. I actually practiced part of that joke. But, yeah, I apparently forgot the rest of it. Sometimes I just have I have problems remembering things. It's just weird. Like one time when I was in high school, I took a media editing class for a short time. I eventually quit because they apparently. I was doing horribly at it, mostly because of the fact that we didn't have any textbooks. And I did poorly on quizzes because I had a tendency to, well, you know, not listen in school. And I didn't really take notes because, well, handwriting things is kind of a war of attrition for me in some ways. It was just a hard class to keep up with. I remember once when they noticed this and they tried helping me out by telling me the answers to a quiz before I took it. You know, so I would have a little help. That didn't freaking work because I forgot half of them immediately afterwards. That's one of the problems with autism. Your mind wanders, and then it wanders easily. It's like letting your child loose in, New York City. Then, an hour later, you get a call, and it's like, how'd you end up on top of the Seattle Space Needle? What manner of circumstances led to this point? That's how weird some of my thoughts sometimes get. Sometimes my brain just hates me. It doesn't do me any favors. And brains are just kind of crazy like that. Speaking of the human body, I recently saw a couple of episodes of this anime called Parasite. That is a weird show. But, you know, it's one of those philosophical things where it's like, you know, where it does make you really think about stuff. I thought I'd be creeped out initially by the fact that it's about parasites, and parasites are just creepy to me, you know, just in general. Which is why I don't really want to ever go to Latin America. Nothing against Latin America, it's just that, you know, it seems to me that whenever I hear about people coming to the States, or, just people in general getting, stuff like tapeworms, the story is always well, before this, they went to a trip to someplace in Latin America. Obviously, they don't have as quite a generalized statement there, but you get the point. It's like someplace like Guatemala or Mexico or something. And you know, again, nothing against Latin America. I'm sure the sites are very lovely and it's a very nice country. All I'm saying is, it seems like their food does not meet American FDA standards, which is kind of a shame, really. As you can probably notice, a lot of stuff here in Elfland is really expensive. That's because, well, it is expensive. Quite expensive, actually. In fact, this is probably my least favorite part of the game, simply because as it just has such a huge, amount of, I guess I've heard it called a money crunch. And yeah, that seems like a good statement for it. Stuff is just expensive, man. Like, you don't even know. It just it's like way too expensive for this point in the game. And it sucks because they have not fixed this in later remakes of the game. Now, they've made it better. They've reduced the prices on stuff, made grinding go a little faster, and even in some of the remakes, like the one on the PSP and Dawn of Souls, it made it so that you gotta space that stuff out, but still, it is just, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, I get the NES gamers back in the day, they, really didn't have anything better to do than to just sit around and to battle random monsters in the overworld. That's why Dragon Quest was such a popular thing. But, you know, it's just, you gotta only think, why hasn't this still been fixed? You know? Anyways, I'm only getting some minor stuff for now. Gonna have to grind for the rest of it. I will thankfully cut all of that out, though, because you viewers will get quite bored, actually. Just see me going back and forth fighting 100 monsters just for golden experience. I'm probably like, there's probably more that I'm going to like, I'm gonna show you some other stuff, you know, before we get started on the grinding thing. But for now, I'm just going to, like, show you where I'm gonna get some additional stuff beforehand. But, yeah. Zack almost died again. Seriously, I'm starting to regret not choosing a red mage and just replacing one of the mages with, like, a thief or something, or making them the black belt. I don't know. There are reasons why I didn't choose, like, the other two classes. Like for the thief, it was because, really, there's no point in choosing the thief in this version of the game. They're kind of useless, because not only are they as weak as mages, but without all the strong magics and whatnot, but they're also their only supposed skill is running away, which is kind of bugged in this version of the game, so yeah, there's literally no point to choosing a thief. He's like the classic version of Kate Sith. He's like that one character in an RPG that like no one chooses because they're just not as good as everyone else. There are quite a lot of party members in RPGs like that. Like, have you ever noticed that? It's just weird. But, yeah. Good thing, though, for Final Fantasy VII, they're much more useful characters. Really, I'm not really sure why people, like, put Yuffie in that same boat, either. Like, I've seen, like, you know, at least one video, not gonna mention names or anything, but you could probably guess what I'm talking about, if you know it. That basically said, no one likes Yuffie and Kate Sith. And that's just weird, because Yuffie is, like, famously one of the characters that's extremely useful. Like, people even include them in their final party. Plus, I really like Yuffie's character design myself, personally. I don't know. She just has that sort of, you know, charm to her look or something. I really like her design in Kingdom Hearts 1. Like, you know, say what you want about Nomura nowadays, but some of his designs he got right, like, you know, the Kingdom Hearts 1 redesigns for the 7 characters. Like Cloud, for instance. Why couldn't Cloud look like that in the actual game? I don't know. I guess they wanted something a bit more simple back then. Still. Whew, that was a close one. I was afraid I was going to have to start this recording over. All because one of my party members, Zero, just died. Come on, run! This is what happens when you only make one character that's any good at tanking. Good news is we appear to have enough money to get everyone healed up now. Kind of ironic that a wizard trained in black magic is, like, you know, still being able to be revived by what is essentially a church. Then again, they don't really specify black magic users as being, well, you know, linked with evil or anything. They're just people that can set fire and ice and lightning to various objects and people. And that comes in more use than you would think. Plus, you know, Christians, and it's just, they help people. Or at least they try to. Good Christians. That's just, but then you get those jerks who, like, say, I'm killing tons of people for seemingly no reason, but I'm doing it in the name of God, so it's okay. Those people just... they just make no sense. Like, really, if you were really doing stuff for God, you probably would not be killing anyone. Or hurting anyone, for that matter. I don't know if any of you probably will be with me on that, though. But, yeah. One single snake. How hard can it be to take this guy down? A turn-based RPG? Kind of hard. Well, okay, not too hard, but still. At least this isn't Earthbound, where the snakes are literally the weakest, and I mean the weakest enemies. Thankfully, they don't show up that much. Like, there's only the kind that you find one at, and then there's the much stronger kind later. I don't know. They're still not that hard, but they're at least, you know, a bit of an annoyance in the desert part, because then they can poison you. And for some reason, they're called thirsty. Yeah. Like, what, is poison just salty to some people? I don't know. Oh, jeez. Counter's getting high. Well, I guess I'll cut this short, guys. Until next time, I'm WingCap. And, yeah. Leave comments for any feedback or other stuff. Keep a lookout for my future videos. Tell your friends about me. Until next time, stay cappy, my friends. Stay cappy.